So I'll take you through some of the ukuleles I've built. The back end of last year I made myself a mould for baritone, and this is, I think, the second of the baritones that I've built. This is all maple, so 6-piece maple set, book matched, with wooden binding. It probably doesn't come over very well, but there is a black white purfling on the end. There's a black white rosette. The headstock has got the same wood that I've used for the rosette as a stripe along the middle on a plate, and again purfling. We've got ebony neck strap, ebony heel cap, fretboard and bridge. One of the things I've started doing this year, I really like pin bridges and I wasn't happy with what I can buy, so this year is the year that I've taught myself to make bridges, and you'll see pin bridges throughout, I think, on all the ukuleles I'm building. This one has got Living Waters strings on it. It's currently strung in standard ukulele tuning, and it's surprisingly nice and loud. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out with the maple top. Oops. My playing is just about non-existent, I'm afraid. I have got some sound samples, and when time allows I will be uploading some sound samples. So that's a maple ukulele, baritone. Next, we've got the second of the baritones I built this year. This one's all koa body, koa faceplate on the neck. I think it's sapele, this neck. It's a stacked heel, ebony fretboard, heel cap. No bindings on this one, simple rosette, and again a pin bridge that I've made. This one's tuned in standard baritone tuning. It's quite a soulful sound from this. It's done these to the world of good, hanging up on the wall behind me. They've really settled down and they've got lovely tone to them. And again, I've got sound samples for this, so that's my second baritone. The shape of these ukuleles are basically inspired from the tenor ukuleles I was building last year, and they were as a result of buying some wood from Pete that was already cut to this sort of shape. So one of the things I've been exploring this year is making my own shapes. So I'll bring a concert. Here we've got a concert in a much more rounded shape. It presents me with a few challenges. It doesn't stand up very well for starters, particularly with the end pin in, and also it's more awkward to do the neck joint, as we're quite round here. And finally, the bends at the upper bout and the waist are tighter than they might be on some other ukuleles. But I've enjoyed the challenge, and I really do like this sort of curvy shape. So this one, it's book matched bakote. I presume that's how it's pronounced. Back and sides, I've put coral binding around the top, spruce front, ebony fingerboard and bridge, and again a koa head plate and backstrap on the on this. I think, if I remember rightly, this neck is walnut, again stacked. And another nice ukulele. This one is re-entrant tuned, Living Water strings. I'm tending to use Living Water strings quite a lot now. They seem to be very popular with my wife and the friends that I've been able to see this year. So I've moved away from the Ukuleles series to Living Waters strings. Plenty of volume and sustain on these, and again a lovely sounding ukulele that will, those that can play right up the neck. Apologies, I'm not the best for, I can do a C chord, I think that one's a C chord. Is it? Oh dear, can't even use the right finger. Andreas embarrassed me last year by asking me to play a C chord and I couldn't manage that. So I've progressed a lot in the last year. And thanks for all these comments about these being nice and what have you. This one's 14 frets to the neck. I'm very pleased with that. I also picked up, well, I've got quite a wood collection, including some spalted beech, and I decided I needed to use some for another ukulele. So another concert, again the same curvy shape. It's a 6-piece spalted beech set. This one book matched, at least the front and the back are. Unfortunately, I learned by my mistakes, so I've learned quite a lot this year. Hopefully not to do some of them again, and you'll see I got the book matching totally wrong. This end of this piece of wood should join to this end here, never mind. And I was quite disappointed initially in this ukulele when I built the body. It felt really dead to me in terms of sound, but I finished it anyway despite the mistakes, and it hung on a wall in shame for a while, and then I took it down and it's suddenly loud and proud, and again a really nice ukulele. So this is Living Water strings. It's a low G set, and again nice ukulele, and plays up and down the fretboard. I tend to set the action at between 2 1/4 and 2 3/4 millimeters at the 12th fret. So that's that one. A spalted beech concert. I'm not going to venture a guess at what I used for the neck. I've forgotten. Can I have that? Yeah. So those sleepless nights and looking at some planks led me to making this. So the shape is similar to these concerts, but I've got cut away the plank. I didn't feel was deep enough for ukulele, so we can see what I've got about 4.5 millimeter thick piece of maple around the edge of this, which also the same piece of maple gives me the support for the sound hole. The front is Carina. The wood it's made, the back is made from, is called Penga Penga. I think it's an African hardwood. It's quite dense. and it's got lots of silicates in, so I don't enjoy working that too much. So I'll be using the stock I've got. It does make quite a nice fretboard and vidge, and I've also started making my own fretboards this year as well as bridges. Another challenge I've given myself. Again, they are a different sort of neck carve, so I tend to, I don't know if that picks up well there, but I blend that into the body a lot more than most electric guitars and what have you. So it's quite a seamless transaction. You're aware of it, it's rounded, but it is quite a seamless transaction, connection to the body. The headstock is got a head cap with panga panga with a maple stripe, and that's repeated on the back. And I built this thinking this will be a bit of fun, can I build it? And when I strung it up and strummed it, I was really shocked. It's got a lot of volume, it's a lovely instrument. You'll note it's got a strap on it. It doesn't belong to me, it's my wife's now. Moira picked it up and said it's mine. And I'm lucky in so much as Moira likes the ukuleles, so I get away with making a mess in the house. But anyone who picks this up, any of our friends that play ukulele that have been around, they pick this up and they just noodle away. An awful lot of fun. It is an electroacoustic. I've forgotten the name of the... I'll try and remember the name of the pickup that I've put in it. But lovely little instruments. Similar one in Koa, but the neck is also panga panga on this one. An accent stripe along the neck. Headstock was a little experimental. It's not as angled as sharply as the previous one, but again a nice ukulele. This one strung with Aquila Reds. I'm also started experimenting with putting my fret markers along the edge of the fretboard here, 2 at the 12th, and this one doesn't have any side dots, well that's easy to remedy. So these are quite heavy for ukuleles, and the balance, actually it's not bad. It's balancing around about the 13th to 14th fret, but they are a little bit weightier, and more so again with this one, same sort of thing. This one has got zero cote front, the rest of it panga panga with the fretboard bound in maple. And I remember to put the fret dots on this one, they contrast quite nicely. Those of you who do some gigging in a rough pub, this is the ukulele for you, because being made out of panga panga, you can cosh someone with it and then carry on with the gig. Yeah, I agree with you, Phil. I was quite shocked at the volume. I'm probably several comments behind, but never mind. Tenors. So I was gifted a 4 foot or so lump of mahogany that had been a bar or something somewhere that was just calling out to be made into a ukulele. So I drew out on some poster board a 1-to-1 scale drawing, and left it in my office near where I'm working each day. every couple of hours for the first few days. I'd pick it up and take the rubber to it. None of this CAD nonsense for me. Redraw it until I got to the stage where I hadn't changed it for a week, and then I copied it, made a plywood template, and this is the result. So it's a mahogany back. I think it's no, I'm not going to name the neck. It may be Sapili. The what's the front? Consult me notes. Well, I've gone blank. Oh, it's cedar. So cedar top, cedar neck. This is actually the second top it had. I did it originally with a traditional sound hole, and it was slightly offset, so I had to take the top off, and I decided to try something a bit different. Again, this is a surprisingly loud, and it's got a beautiful tone. I think I've got enough wood for another 3 of these bodies, so there will be some more of these being made. So this is a shape that I really like. And as I really like it, I've now made a mould for that shape. And I can show you the ukulele. It's currently under construction. So again, I've gone for these 2 sound holes, cedar top, and this one has got some spectacular mango back and sides. It's bound in some dark wood with a white accent stripe. I've got a rosewood fingerboard. There will be a rosewood bridge on it, bridge pin, heel cap. The top here is another piece of mango, and I'm looking forward to getting this finished. I started applying the shellac to this, I think it was Wednesday this week, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I did drop this while I was making it, so unfortunately there was a repair work, but even I'm struggling to find that nowadays. Absolutely gorgeous piece of wood. And I'm just looking at the time. I've probably more than overrun my time now, so I'd best stop there. If any, the finish, it's French polish, so all of them I use shellac. So I'll come along and I'll sit once I'm on the finish with 3 bottles, one with methylated spirits, one with a drop of shellac in, and one with a drop of oil, and spend an evening or a few hours rubbing the shellac into these. If any of you are interested in talking ukuleles or building ukuleles, regardless of whether you're interested in buying one of mine, feel free to get in touch. I'd best wrap up now because the next event is due. Thanks very much.